Hi, y'all. Jennifer Leday here with another installment of Thrive, where I offer quick tips for women leaders who want to lead by design rather than default. Well, have you ever had this happen to you? You pour yourself a nice cup of coffee and you're walking from the kitchen to the living room, and per usual, you filled it to the brim. And I mean, it's just inevitable. It's going to slosh over and spill on the floor. Yeah, me neither. Just reminds me of how we as women leaders are often trying to carry too much. We're holding on to too many things. We're trying to be all things to all people. But if we're really honest, we're doing it to ourselves, or at least I do. And maybe you've done it a time or 10 yourself. If you're like me, you end up making very little progress. It's like trying to drive, pressing the brake and the accelerator at the same time, and then wondering why you're not going anywhere, but you're running out of gas quickly. Yep, you end up feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, and full of resentment. We do this in our personal lives and in our work lives. I see it all the time. Women have the gift of nurturing, and often we tend to overdo it. We overgive. And I see it when it happens to people. If it's happening in their work, it's probably happening in their personal lives, and vice versa. Because, as you do one thing is how you do everything. So we do this and we wonder why we're exhausted and we're overwhelmed, and we're trying to keep it all and carry it all. And that was never our jobs to begin with. So if all of this sounds a little bit too familiar, take heart, because I have 5 steps that you can take today so that you can lead with integrity, so that you can serve with sensibility, and so that you can develop your team members, which, by the way, is your job as a leader. So step number 1, set and keep healthy boundaries. Yes, we need healthy boundaries. You're actually serving people more by setting those healthy boundaries. Determine ahead of time what you will and will not accept. We're constantly teaching people how to treat us by what we tolerate and what we accept. So set those boundaries, be clear about it. Step number 2, let go of your red cape, boo. You are not Wonder Woman. You're not Superman. You need to let it go. Quit trying to be all things to all people. I say this with great love and affection. You cannot do it all, nor should you try. Step number 3, communicate your boundaries. Set clear expectations. I can't emphasize this enough. Clear expectations at the outset will prevent you from having to deal with the cleanup on aisle 10, okay? So I had this happen when my very, very first job, when I was a youngster, was wrapping gifts at a local department store at Christmas time. And I took my job seriously, man. I was all into it. And one day when I came into work, I got chewed out by my manager because I didn't show up on Saturday. And I said, but I wasn't scheduled to work on Saturday. And thankfully, I was able to pull out my copy of the schedule and show him that I was not on the schedule to work Saturday. Come to find out, he had changed the schedule after he had posted it and neglected to let moi know. So how could I know to be there if he didn't give me that expectation? That has stuck with me for a long, long time. And I'm just saying that if you set those clear expectations at the outset, you likely won't have as much cleanup to do on the back end of things. So set clear expectations. Say no. I know it's the hardest 2 letters, short word to say, but say no to requests that aren't in alignment with your values, your mission, your vision. Say no to those things that are going to mean you're not going to be able to practice good self-care, because self-care is not selfish. It's actually a way that allows you to serve better. So say no to those things when it's just not a good fit. You're doing everybody a favor when you learn to say no. And the last, number 5, is protect. Protect your boundaries like a mother bear protecting her cubs. Do you hear me? You got to protect, guard your boundaries vigilantly. It makes a difference. You will be able to lead with integrity when you have taken these 5 steps. You eliminate a lot of that resentment, frustration, and just anxiety about having to deal with people when they don't meet your expectations or when you feel like you're being taken advantage of. So I know you're probably saying, Jen, this is all easier said than done. I get it, but it can be done. If you'd like some help, a guide on the side to help you in implementing these 5 steps, let's talk. Go to jenniferleday.com and schedule your complimentary clarity call with me today. And we'll see if Thrive Women's Leadership Roundtable is a good fit for you. Until next time, y'all, stay safe and stay sane.